Production. Western Sydney University's new Parramatta City campus provides a technologically rich and advanced learning environment to students and teachers alike, attempting to adapt to an ever-changing society with the implementation of technology-driven buildings. Problem statement. Issues regarding the use of overcomplicated interfaces and how they can impact the learning environment. The paradox. How the building has implemented these technologies, screens, iPads, touch devices, automated doors, etc., to enhance the learning experience and also make life easier. However, the reality contradicts the expectations, as these technologies have decreased productivity and have instead become an issue with not only students but teachers as well. Methodology. Observations on these issues and how they have developed to be a prominent issue within the building. Conduct research on the matter and how it can perhaps be changed or better adapt to the situation. Find possible solutions to the issue. Evidence. Primary research. Primary research was conducted on the idea that technology was limiting the productivity of students and teachers, thus causing distractions instead of the intended job, boosting interactivity and creating a technologically advanced working environment. Research conducted resulted in the fact that automation, making everything technological, is meant to reduce time, effort, cost, whilst also reducing human error and allowing for more time to focus on other matters. However, the building contradicts this statement with the technology implemented. A clear example is the iPad device located in every room that utilizes large display screens. Their intention is to allow for an interactive interface that can assist teachers in decreasing time in setting up lessons and Zoom calls. However, they have done the exact opposite with overcomplicated interface and difficulty of use. The purpose of technology is meant to solve problems, but within the building, this device has created more problems. The intended use of this device is to decrease time spent setting up lessons via the laptop, but has instead been a waste of time to use due to the overcomplicated interface. Evidence. Secondary research. Interviews were conducted on how students felt about the use of technology surrounding them in the building. The first interview was how students found the utilization of display screens, adjacent speakers, and microphone. Results showed that every time that the display screens were used, there would always be an issue with audio, and if it didn't come from the speakers and microphone, it would come from the iPad device. The second interview was conducted on how students felt about the automated doors and doors that required keycards within the building, and results showed that 90% of the time, keycards weren't required to enter classrooms, and over 70% of students found that the automated doors took way too long to open and would intrude in where the student was standing, requiring them to step back whilst waiting for the door. Evidence. Personal observations. Technological issues within the classroom not only include the display screen and iPad devices, but also the layout of the room, including exposed wiring on the roofs are connected to microphones, speakers, and cameras. These devices always create an obnoxious echo effect wherever in use, and prove to be a huge distraction and annoyance to students who are trying to work and listen to lessons. It has been the cause of many disturbances during lessons, and the iPad devices do not prove to be a viable device to fix these issues, as it has been a semester now and these issues still persist. The camera angle does not show the entire room, and speakers and microphones do not provide adequate audio or voice recognition to the screens. Methods. Methods utilized were primary and secondary research, personal observations, photo taking, journey mapping, framing, reframing our design, and brainstorming and creating prototype. Prototype 1. A current issue is that the layout of the classroom contradicts its intended use. By showing relevant stakeholders my proposed layout, not only does it utilize the screens more, but it provides a more aggressive yet traditional learning environment that supports a certain hierarchy to the layout. By removing the iPad device, it also creates a more natural environment. Upon asking students how they found this layout, um, that suggests a more logical. They found that this suggested layout was more logical and feasible compared to the current situation. Prototype 2. The second prototype consists of enclosing the ceilings to decrease echo and noise being trapped in the spaces, but to also separate the speakers and microphones from the ceilings and to place them around the tables instead. Sonar spray can also be used for temporary relief. This provides a more connected feel instead of feeling alienated from the devices, but also allows the utility of these devices to be increased as they are rarely being used due to issues. This proposition was met with some critique. Prototype 3. The general consensus is that the iPads do not have any form of use within the classrooms, and students and teachers even more so believe that they do not have a very large purpose. I propose a simple removal of these devices and utilizing a more traditional approach for a simpler interface that can be used from laptops. This also allows it to be more accessible instead of leaving the lectern to make changes. Most teachers interviewed found this to be quite useful. Results: the technology within the building could be utilized and implemented a little more practically and was proven through primary and secondary research and personal observations. Conclusions and recommendations. To conclude, the technology within the building seems to be a good attempt at implementing an interactive system that boasts technological advancement. However, the use of overcomplicated systems and heavy use of automation and technology unnecessarily has caused issues and problems across the building. Thus, I recommend looking at my research for validation and considering the prototypes for a more logistical approach to layout and usage of technology.